Good morning. I am Prabhu Benmarad, Assistant Professor, Department of CSE, BLD CET, Vijapur. In this lecture, I am going to discuss about the introduction to recursive function and C program implementation and execution. So let us first define what is recursive function. A recursive function which calls itself to do some specific task. That is, in case of recursive function, the function body will be called by itself by inserting a call statement inside a body of the function. Recursive functions are used by the programmer to solve those problems in which the next action or calculation depends upon the previous result. So the problems where the next operation is dependent on the previous one. In such a situation, we will use a recursive function concept. A recursion can be used an alternative to the iteration method. So instead of for loop, while loop and do while loop, we can use the concept of the recursion function to perform the operation. So then, how to solve a problems using recursion function or recursively? So to solve a problems recursively, so we have to follow these three steps. So first we have to divide the problem into smaller problems, and next solve sub problems recursively, and at last assemble the sub solutions and frame a final result. So this process is also called as divide and conquer technique. See, every recursive solution will be having the following structure. Means every recursive function implementation will be having following definition. That is, a function name and a parameter and a return type. So within the function body, the important statement is base case. So the base case will enable the recursive call to stop. See, this is what here the first condition which is going to execute in a recursive function body. If this condition is satisfied, then it will return the particular value, and after returning a value, the control will come out from the function body. If this base condition is failed, then the function will be called by itself recursively till some condition satisfy, right? So every recursive function is going to implement is going to have the base case and a statement which calls the function by itself. See, you can look at the body of the function. See, this is what here the name of the function. The name of the function is called within the body itself. So that's why the recursive function is called as the function body where the function calls itself. So let us implement a program recursively for finding a factorial of a given number. See, already we have computed the factorial of a given number. That is, say for example, if I give the input as a 5, then how factorial is calculated? That is 5 into 4 into say 3 into 2 into 1, right? So this is what here how factorial of a 5 is calculated. So what we do, so we will declare a variable to store this integer input, and this variable will hold a result of the factorial computation. So first we will ask the user to enter the number. So whenever the user enters a number, that number is stored in variable n. So next what we do, we call a function fact by passing the value n here. So the content of n is 5. So then what will happen here, the control will jump to the body here. So this body has been implemented by using the concept of recursion. See, this particular statement is called as base case. See, as we know already, if the input is 0, if the user gives the input 0 and 1, so the factorial of 0 is 1, the factorial of 1 is what here, 1. So these two cases are already predefined. So if user enters the value as a 0 or 1, then this particular statement will be executed. So in both the cases, always it will return a value as a what here, 1, to indicate the factorial of 0 is 1, the factorial of 1 is what here, 1. So what happens after executing this return statement, the control will come out from this body. So here what we have given the input, that is 5. So in n the 5 will be stored, and the 5 is not equal to 0 and not equal to what here, 1. So that say in this case what will happen, these two particular statements will not be executed. So then the control will come to this particular statement, and what will happen, what is the value of n? N is 5, that is 5 into, again what happens here, the same function will be called by passing the value n minus 1, nothing but what here, 4. So what we do, we will take a first number out and we will start finding the factorial of 4. Again what happens, the control will go back to the function body. So in this case the value of n becomes what here, 4. So now the 4 is not equal to 0 and the 4 is not equal to 1. So this condition will be failed. So these two statements will be skipped. Again the control will come to this statement. So here what happens, what is the value of n? In this, now the value of n is what here, 4. Again what we do, we call a function, that is fact function, by passing n value as what here, n minus 1. So 4 minus 1 is nothing but what here, 3. So nothing but this statement. So we will call again the same function. So like this what we will do until this condition is satisfied. Okay, so what we do, we will call the function again and again here. So at last when n equal to 0, so that time what will happen here, when n equal to 1, that time what happens, again the control will come back to this function body. So here what will happen, n equal to 0, the condition will be failed, but this condition will be what here, true. So that time what will happen, it will return 1. So then what the result we get here, 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. So that is what here, 120. So 120 will be returned back to the call. So here what happens, the answer will be holding what here, 120, and soon after this statement we are calling a printf statement to display the value. See, one thing you can observe is the function body is having a statement. This particular statement will call the same function again and again. So that's why this is, we call it as what here, recursive function. The same program can be implemented by using iterative method, that is already we have seen this. So we will repeat say n times and we will multiply it to what here, fact, and at last what we will do, we will return the value of fact. So let us write another program to find or to compute the sum of numbers from 1 to n. See, this program we have discussed already, that is perform the addition of n natural numbers. So here Let us see how this is implemented by using a recursive concept. So we have declared the variable n, so which holds how many numbers you want to perform the sum. Say whenever the user enters say 10, means the user want to perform the addition, that is sum of 1 to 10 number. So next, this particular variable is used to hold a result. So first we will ask the user to enter the number. So when the user enters the number as a 10, then that is stored in n here. So next what we do, we call a function sum by passing this n here. So n value is what here? 10. So the content of n is copied. So whenever this statement is executed, the control will jump to this body. So here the content of n becomes what here? 10 here. So first what we do, we check the n is equal to 0. So if the inputted number is 0, then no need to calculate the sum. So if it is 0, then obviously the sum will also be what here? 0. So this is we call it as what here? Base case. So instead of calculating, so we will first check whether this condition is satisfied. If this is satisfied, then we don't go for calling the function again and again here, right? So here what is the value of n? 10. So this is not equal, so that these two statements will not be executed, then the control will come to here. So what we do, so we first separate the first value, that is 10, and we call the function again, that is sum n minus 1 means what here? 9. So this becomes what here? 9, and the control go back to the same function body. So again it will come inside since it is called. So what is the value of n? That is 9. 9 is equal to 0? No, this condition is failed. So again what we do, we call the same function by passing n minus 1. So in this case, in second case, what will happen here? So this is what here? 10 first value, and next this became what here? 9 second value. Next what we are doing, we are calling the same function by passing what here? N minus 1, means this becomes what here? 8. So again it will go back. What is the value of n? That is 8. So 8 is equal to 0. No, this condition is failed. Again this statement will be executed. So here now it becomes what here? 8. Again we will call what here? The same function. So this will be repeated until the value of n equal to what here? 0. So that time we will find what here? So this particular variable will be holding what here? The sum of n numbers. So after finding sum of n numbers, the result will be present in yes. So that result we are returning back to the function where it was called. So it will come back here, and ans will store what here? The sum of n numbers, and that result we are going to display by using what here? Printf statement. So let us execute these two programs in terminal. So go to terminal. So let me copy the program. So we shall execute factorial first. So gedit. So save the file. So I give name fa.c. See here, as I said already, this is what here? This is a main program, and this is a body of the function. So this is what here? Recursive call. So let us execute this code. that is CC. What is the name of the program? FA. Yes, what is the name of the program? FA dot C. See, the program compiled successfully /a dot out. So it will ask you to enter the number for which you want to find a factorial. See what I do, I give 5. So the factorial of 5 is how much here? 120. See, let us execute one more time. So this time I give the value input as a 6. So enter plus 6. So the factorial of 6 is how much here? 720. See what happening here, this function, so initially what this will be what here, n value, and we are calling a function again. In second iteration again this becomes what here, n into n minus 1, and we call what here, fact of n minus 2. So this will be repeated again and again, right? So this statement will call the same function again and again. So that's why it is called as what here, recursive function. So let us execute the second program, that is sum of natural number using recursive. So create a file, go to editor, yes, say new. So save the file, su.c, right? See, this is a main program. So we have declared n, we are asking the number, that number is stored in n, and this is what here, a function call. This is what here, the recursive function body. So here this statement will call the function repeatedly, that is recursively. So execute this program, clear the screen, say cc su dot say c. Yes, one error we have, that is the sum of n number is %d/n. So some mistake is there, that is the sum of n number is %d, the sum of n %d. So yes, so this you make it as what here, int. So save the program, again you compile, yes, /a dot out. So I want to find the sum of 3 numbers, that is 1, 2, 3. So that is 6. So 3 plus 2 is 5, plus 1 is what here, 6. So again execute one more time. So I want to find sum of 10 numbers, that is 1 to 10, that is 55. Again execute one more time. I want to find the sum of 20 numbers, that is 1 to 20. Yes, that is 210. See here what happened, this statement is calling the body of the function repeatedly again and again till this condition satisfy. Okay. Yes, thank you. If you haven't subscribed my YouTube channel, please subscribe to see more videos on C programming. Thank you.